I'm Ashrant Aryal. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Construction Science at Texas A&M. So my research focuses on trying to make the operation of our building systems more intelligent and more adaptive to the human needs. So if we think of our thermal environment, my research tries to focus on how we can uh, adjust the thermal environment to make the occupants more comfortable and more satisfied. People spend around 90% of our time inside buildings, and that was pre-COVID. Because we spend so much time inside our buildings, the environment has a direct impact on our comfort, our satisfaction, our mood, and our long-term health.
My research is at the intersection of users, humans essentially, and the built environment. And essentially what we are doing is we are using technology such as AI and machine learning and big data to quantify and understand the experience of human users as they interact with different components of the built environment. So one of the thrusts that I'm pursuing in my lab is about resiliency against climate disasters at the community level. And in that thrust, what we do is that we look at the historical data of climate disasters and how they affected different communities in disaster-prone areas, specifically in the Texas Gulf Coast. And then we try to train AI and machine learning models to learn from those data and predict the extent of damage for future disasters. And in the second thrust of my research, we are using images and videos collected from construction job sites to understand unsafe behaviors or areas of work that might be prone to hazardous conditions, and then use these models to alert workers in advance of any safety accidents or injuries that might take place.
My work focuses on office workers. So people who are working in their offices, they don't have a lot of control over the environment. So my research tries to, bring back control to the office workers to improve their comfort and productivity. So I'm currently working with localized systems. So things like local fans and heaters. It could be heated wristbands, things that are able to control the environment at an individual level. As the technology gets more advanced, we should be able to automate a lot of these systems, and the buildings should be, able to recognize and become aware of the requirement of its occupants in real time without much intervention and feedback from the people.
Being a civil engineer and somebody who has been involved in construction research for some years, I realized that safety and productivity are two major issues in construction sites. Construction is historically behind when it comes to productivity growth, and of course is one of the most hazardous occupations in the world. I want to create technologies that enable humans to work safer and more productive, but at the same time, I want humans to be part of the technology development. I still think that the power of the human brain is unparalleled. Humans are excellent in complex and sophisticated jobs where technology is very good in conducting more resource-intensive and routine tasks. So if you look at construction, for example, it is a mix of things that are happening all over the time. For example, lifting, pushing, pulling, installing different objects. Technology can do that much more efficiently. But then we have clash detections, we have spatial constraints, we have time constraints, we have different crews that work in the same space at the same time. So those type of decisions need to be made by a human stakeholder. And therefore, the human input can be valuable to technology, and the technology output could be valuable to the human performance.
A&M is one of the largest universities in the US. That means there are people working in pretty much any field that you can imagine. They are here at A&M. So it's really, it makes it a lot easier to find potential collaborators and learn from different disciplines and try to integrate the knowledge from other disciplines into my own research.
Texas A&M is one of the few universities in the nation that has a triple designation of land grant, sea grant, and space grant. So by virtue of this, We have access to tremendous amount of support inside the university, but also outside the university in many of the communities that we work with. Another advantage of being at Texas A&M and in the construction science department is the large size of our construction industry advisory council, or CIAC, that allows us to reach out to many construction companies that could be the beneficiaries of these technologies. For any of my projects, I have worked with several of these companies at the same time to make sure that their input, whether from the executive level all the way to the worker level, is considered in the design of the technology. So for that, working with stakeholders at different levels in different locations is very important for us. And Texas A&M has provided an excellent platform for us to be able to do that.